Okay, I will just repeat the question that we have done. We yet have to write the answer for that. We are still at the end part of our second chapter, that is chemical bonding. One or two questions are remaining. After that, we will start with the next chapter, acid, bases, and salts. Okay. So the last revision, please check whether you have written the question. Bond formed in hydrogen molecule is non-polar covalent bond. Have you written that?
Can you repeat?
Yes.
Okay. Can you repeat?
I'll just revise once. What was the answer? Polar.
Please can you repeat?
Non-polar molecule. Okay. Polar molecule. Polar example is HCl, hydrogen chloride. How HCl dissociates H plus and Cl minus. Okay. So why? Because hydrogen is electropositive and chlorine is electronegative. Electropositive means the tendency of an element to donate all its electrons to another element. That is called as electropositive nature. Electronegative is chlorine. What does chlorine do? It will accept or it will attract all the electrons of hydrogen towards itself. Okay. After this, both hydrogen and chlorine, they follow the hydrogen follows Euclid rule, chlorine follows octet rule, and both the elements become stable. Now, after the transfer of electrons, the charge developed on hydrogen is positive and on chlorine is negative. That will also represented by delta. Okay. So these are two poles. One pole is positive pole, another pole is a negative pole. Two poles are formed. Therefore, this compound is called as a polar molecule. Okay, because it has two poles, positive and negative. Coming back to our question, bond formed in hydrogen molecule is non-polar. Hydrogen molecule, it means two hydrogen atoms. Okay, this is hydrogen molecule. Now it will dissociate HH. Okay, dissociate as HH. Both the charges are same. Here the charges are different. One is positive, one is negative. Here both the charges are same. It means there is sharing of electrons. There is no transfer of electrons. Okay. Here it is transfer of electrons. Here it is no transfer of electrons. Hydrogen atoms, they share the electrons and the charges present on them is same. Hence, there is no difference in their electronegativity. That is, it is not there कि एक molecule इसमें एक atom electropositive और एक electronegative है. Okay, दोनों का nature same है. That is the reason why it is called non-polar. Okay, why non-polar? Non-polar means two different charges are not there. Same example you can take for chlorine also. Okay, chlorine molecule will dissociate as Cl minus, Cl minus. Again, there are same charges. Okay, there are same charges. There is no separation of positive and negative charge. So this chlorine molecule is also non-polar. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Below the question, write another question. It is related. So write another question. Bond formed in chlorine molecule. Bond formed in chlorine molecule is non-polar. Is non-polar covalent bond. Bond formed in chlorine molecule is non-polar covalent bond. Write down the answer. The combining elements in hydrogen molecule, the combining elements in hydrogen molecule and chlorine molecule are identical. That is, they have no difference. In their electronegativity. No difference in their electronegativity. Hence, the shared pair of electrons, lies exactly at the center of two combining atoms. Exactly at the center of two combining atoms. Therefore, the bond formed is non-polar covalent bond. Therefore, the bond formed is non-polar covalent bond. Last question from this chapter. Last question. Before last question. State which of the following are oxidized and state which of the following are oxidized and reduced. Means I will give you some radicals and looking at that you have to tell me whether it is oxidized or whether it is reduced. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Reduction. Reduction is what? Reduction is gain of electrons. Oxidation. Oxidation is what? Loss of electrons. Okay. Then reducing agent. Water reducing agent. Reducing agents are electron donors. Then oxidizing agents. They are electron acceptors. Okay, so take a screenshot. This is important. They are electron acceptors.
And we have written this.
That means what? Reducing agent, electron donors means they get oxidized. Okay. And oxidizing agent, electron acceptors, they get reduced. I'll give you a few examples. Looking at those examples, you have to tell me whether it is oxidized or whether it is reduced. Okay. I'll write it down, you solve it, and then we will discuss. First example. Second. Write it down. Try to solve.
Yes, ma'am.
solve. So this one, oxygen, it is oxidized when it is reduced. Is it oxidized or reduced?
Ma'am, oxidized.
It is oxidized. Very good. This one is oxidized. Okay, those who have not understood, please pay attention. Oxidized means electron donor. Here, oxygen was having 2 electrons. Okay, these 2 electrons are donated, and here oxygen is without any charge. It means it has become neutral. How it has become neutral? By donating the electron. So therefore, oxygen it has donated 2 electrons. It has become neutral. It means it is oxidized. That is electron donor. Second one.
Reduced.
Reduced, ma'am.
Very good. It is reduced. Why? Because your plus 2 charge is there. It means it is not having 2 electrons. 2 electrons रहता है तो minus charge होता है. यहाँ पे electrons नहीं है. So it means it has accepted 2 electrons. Plus 2 and minus 2 have balanced each other, and it has become a neutral molecule. So it is reduced. This one.
Reduced.
I'm reduced.
No, ma'am, oxidized.
Oxidized. Very good. It is oxidized. Correct? Why it is oxidized? I will tell you that. See, here the molecule is neutral. There is no charge. But here plus 2 charge is there. It means from the neutral molecule, again 2 electrons are removed. 2 electrons are removed, मतलब 2 negative charge remove हो गए. उसकी जगह पे आ गया 2 positive charge. So it is oxidized. This one.
Ma'am, oxidized. Oxidized, ma'am.
है ना?
Oxidized.
Yes, it is oxidized. This one, sulfur.
Ma'am, reduced.
Reduced.
Sulfur electron acceptor. Why? यहाँ पे 2 माइनस है, मतलब इसके पास अभी इसके पास 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन है. इलेक्ट्रॉन मतलब नेगेटिव चार्ज. So it is reduced. This one.
Oxidized.
Very good. Oxidized. 3 electrons are not there. Only 3 positive charges are there. It means electrons are dominated.
Ma'am, the screen is getting blur.
Any doubt?
Ma'am, screen is getting blur in between.
1 minute. Please tell me in chat if you have any doubt. I am not able to hear you. Any doubt? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Have all of you understood? Acha, screen is getting blurred. 1 minute, 1 minute. This one?
Oxidized.
Ma'am, oxidized.
Okay, very good. 3 electrons are removed, so it is oxidized. This one is,
Reduced.
Reduced.
it has 3 electrons.
Oxidized.
Ma'am, reduced.
Babu?
It is oxidized or reduced?
Ma'am, reduced.
Here,
Oxidized.
Fe3 plus converted to Fe2 plus. 3 plus का मतलब है Fe3 plus means it does not have 3 electrons. Okay. Fe2 plus means this 3 electrons, it has accepted 1 electron. It has accepted 1 electron. It means इसमें अभी एक negative charge add हो गया. So how many charges are remaining now? 2 positive charges. Means it does not have 2 electrons. पहले इसके पास 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं था, फिर उसने एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्ट किया. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्ट किया मतलब 1 negative charge is removed. Okay, 1 negative charge is removed. So अभी 3 positive में से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन भी मूव हो गया, so what is remaining? 2 positive. So this one it is. I'll tell you once again. Fe3 plus. 3 plus का मीनिंग है it is not having 3 electrons. फिर उसने क्या किया? एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्ट किया. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्ट करने के बाद उसके पास एक नेगेटिव चार्ज आ गया. ठीक है, तो वो जो 3 पॉजिटिव चार्ज था उसमें से एक पॉजिटिव चार्ज रिमूव हो गया, उसकी जगह पे आ गया एक नेगेटिव चार्ज. अभी उसके पास कितने पॉजिटिव चार्ज बचे? ओनली 2 पॉजिटिव चार्ज. So it is why? Because it has accepted electron. Understood this one?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
And the last one?
Ma'am, reduced.
Reduced.
Ma'am, reduced.
Electron equals having electron. Correct? It has donated that electron and it has become neutral. This is neutral. It is not having any charge. So this one is oxidized. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Should we start with the next chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
Please try to complete your assignment. Okay?
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am, done.
And in case of doubt, you can ask me anytime. Start with the next chapter. Chapter 3, study of acids, bases, and salts. Study of acids, bases, and salts. First, we will see acids. Okay, we'll just see one flow chart. Acids, they are classified by following criteria. First criteria is the strength of the acid. Okay, strength of acid means how much strong that acid is or whether the acid is weak. Okay, strength again further is classified as strong acid, weak acid. Okay, it is classified as strong acid, weak acid. Then next is basicity. I will try to do it. Okay, then it is classified based on the basicity. I'll tell you what is basicity. We are going to look at it. Basicity means amount of hydrogen ions present in that acid. Basicity is amount of hydrogen ions present in that acid. In that it is classified into 3 types. Monobasic, dibasic, tribasic. Monobasic means 1 hydrogen ion, di means 2, and tri means 3 hydrogen atoms. That examples we'll see. Next is the third part is concentration. Okay, how much concentrated the acid is? Here we have concentration. Depending on the concentration, it is classified into 2 types. Okay. One is concentrated acid, another is dilute acid. Concentrated and dilute. Okay. So you can take a screenshot of this. So chapter 3, study of acid, bases, and salts. So acids, first we'll say about acids, then bases and then salt. Acids, they are classified into three categories depending on the strength of the acid, depending on the basicity of the acid, and depending on the concentration of the acid. Okay. Now strength of the acid means how much powerful that acid is. So that strength it is of two types, strong acid and weak acid. Okay. We'll see the examples of that. Then we have basicity. Basicity means how much amount of hydrogen ions are present in that acid. So that again it is of three types: monobasic, dibasic, and tribasic. Monobasic acid means which will have only one hydrogen ion or one hydrogen atom. Dibasic means which will have two hydrogen atoms, and tribasic means that has three hydrogen atoms. Then the third type is depending on the concentration of acid. Concentration of acid again of two types: concentrated acid and dilute acid. Now we'll see one by one. Strong acid. The three very strong acids are hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid. Okay, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. HCl, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, HNO3, nitric acid. These are highly strong acids. Next we come to weak acid. Weak acid का example है acetic acid, CH3COOH. Okay, acetic acid. Then we have sulfurous acid. Okay, that is H2SO3. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4, which is a strong acid, and sulfurous acid is a weak acid. And then we have the third example of weak acid, that is carbonic acid. Okay, carbonic acid or hydrogen carbonate. Next is depending on the basicity, monobasic. Monobasic means having only single hydrogen atom. So we can write the example HCl, HNO3, CH3. You can see here monobasic single hydrogen atoms. Hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid. Dibasic means having two hydrogen atoms. We have sulfuric acid, H2SO4, sulfurous acid, H2SO3, and hydrogen carbonate or carbonic acid, H2CO3. Next is tribasic acid. Tribasic acid, the example, only one example, we have to study phosphoric acid or hydrogen phosphate. Okay, hydrogen phosphate. Now, concentrated acid and diluted acid. Concentrated acid means the acid in which there is absence of water. Matlab, there is only pure acid. Okay, pure acid that we manufacture in the company, which does not have even a drop of water molecule, that is called as a concentrated acid. So absence of water, pure acid, that is called as a concentrated acid. It is so concentrated that when you open the bottle of this acid, okay, you can see fumes coming out from that acid. Okay, so that is concentrated acid. Diluted acid means in concentrated acid we are going to add water. Okay, so that the power or the strength of that acid decreases. Okay, it can be used for laboratory purpose. Most of the laboratory chemical reactions that we do with acid, we do with dilute acid. Okay, so dilute acid means when in this concentrated acid we are going to add water. So here it is presence of water. Okay, so it is acid plus water, which makes it dilute. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please take a screenshot of this, or you can write it down. Done, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Anyone is having any doubt?
No, ma'am.
All the students, please reply if you have any doubt.
No, ma'am.
Okay. We'll move further. Now we come to the definition of acid. So now we'll see definition of acid. Okay. Acid is what? It is a chemical compound. Okay. Now, acid is a chemical compound. When we dissolve this acid in water, on dissolving this acid in water, it is going to produce hydrogen ions or hydronium ions. Okay, and we will see. Okay, acids are what? Acids are chemical compounds. So when we dissolve any acid with water, it will form hydrogen ions. It will dissociate as hydrogen ions, that is extra ions, or it will form hydronium ions. Okay, so any acid when dissolved in water forms hydrogen ion or it forms hydronium ion and the only positive charge. मतलब acid जब भी water के साथ react करेगा, it is going to form only two types of ion. कौन से two type of ion है? Hydrogen ion और hydronium ion. Okay, दोनों के ऊपर कौन सा चार्ज है? Positive charge. Both of them are having positive charge. Okay, and all the acids, all the commonly used acids, compulsory they contain hydrogen. Okay, all the acids, most of acids. Now we have seen many examples: HCl, H2SO4, H2O3, CH3COOH, H2SO3. So you can see all of them HCPO4 compulsory they contain hydrogen. All these acids compulsory they contain hydrogen atom and whenever these acids they are reacted with water, कोई भी एक acid when it is reacted with water, it is going to form hydrogen ion or it is going to form hydronium ion. जैसे अभी HCl reacting with water. Okay, H2O. Water is what? H2O. I am splitting and writing H2O plus HCl. Okay. Now what will happen? This H, this H, and this O. How many hydrogens are there? 3. 1, 2, 3 hydrogens. H3O plus Cl. Chloride ion 2. So it is forming hydronium ion. Okay, either it will form hydrogen ion or it will form hydronium ion. We are going to do the reactions further. So, write down the definition of acid. Acid definition before. Give the heading acid. With that, write down the chemical compound. The chemical compound which which on dissolving in water, produce produce hydrogen ions or hydronium ions full stop. Hydronium ion as the only positive charges, as the only positively charged ions, positive charges, as the only positively charged ions, full stop. All acids essentially contain hydrogen. All acids essentially contain hydrogen. I will repeat. Just cross check your definition.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, could you come close to the screen and speak because your voice is breaking in between?
Okay. I just repeat the definition. Please cross check. Acid. Is it okay now? I have come to the screen. Is it
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Aditya, is it okay? Okay. So लिखो. Acid का definition. The chemical compound which on dissolving in water, produce hydrogen ions, or hydronium ion as the only positive charges, as the only positively charged ions, all acids essentially contain hydrogen. All acids essentially contain hydrogen. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we will see the next, hydronium ions. What do you mean by hydronium ions? Little part we have done of hydronium ions. It's a previous chapter, chemical bonding. We see it over here. One minute. Have you yesterday you are drawn about dative bond, no? Same structure you have to remember.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now see, pay attention. Hydronium ion. Okay, what is hydronium ion? Hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen. Okay, what is hydronium ion? Hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen ion. See what hydrated hydrogen ion means? For the molecule, when we add hydrogen H plus. So what we get? H3O plus. Hydronium ion. Okay. H will add here. H2 becomes H3O plus. How is the structural formula? Oxygen 8, 2, 6 electron concentration, hydrogen is 1. Oxygen will follow octet rule, hydrogen will follow duplet rule. What are the structure? We draw hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen is having 1 electron each. Oxygen 6 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then electrons. यहाँ पे हाइड्रोजन का ट्यूबलेट, ऑक्सीजन का ऑक्टेट. It is completed by sharing the electron. Now what we are doing? We are adding hydrogen ion. Okay, hydrogen ion means that is not having any charge. Okay, it does not have. It is having positive charge. मतलब उसके पास कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं होगा हाइड्रोजन ion. Okay, so this hydrogen ion is added over here and it will share the how many lone pairs are there? ये भी एक lone pair है. This one is lone pair and this one is also lone pair. Okay, so this lone pair means the electrons that are not lone pair means the electrons that are not attached to any other atom or not attached to any other element. That is called as a lone pair of electrons. So this hydrogen ion it will share any of these. कोई भी एक lone pair के साथ वो attach होगा and it will complete the duplet. क्योंकि यहाँ पे कुछ भी इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है. Suppose if you attach it with this. Okay, so what type of structure it will form? This lone pair is shared with the hydrogen. Okay, it is shared with the hydrogen over here. No longer a lone pair. Okay, now only one lone pair. That has become the lone pair of electrons. Now it will form a bond. I write it here. Bond. यहाँ पे I make single bond. यहाँ पे क्या आएगा एक single bond. Okay. So here H. ये lone pair वाला H. और यहाँ पे आगे ये lone pair. Okay. So ये जो structure है, this is the structure of hydronium ion. And this arrow indicates which bond. Arrow is indicating which bond. We have seen it yesterday.
Dative bond.
Very good. Very good. It indicates the dative bond. Another name for dative bond. Another name. Coordinate bond.
Coordinate bond.
Yes, very good. It is also called as coordinate bond. So dative bond or coordinate bond is formed when extra hydrogen ion is attached to the lone pair of electrons of oxygen. The bond is formed as a dative bond or coordinate bond. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Give the heading hydronium ion. Give this heading hydronium ion. Write down first point. First point. Hydronium ion hydronium ion is hydrated is hydrated hydrogen ion. Hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen ion. Next point. When hydrogen ion when hydrogen ion combines with when hydrogen ion combines with water combines with water molecule it forms hydrated hydrogen it forms hydrated hydrogen called as hydronium ion called as hydronium ion. Next point, the formation of hydronium ion takes place by coordinate bond formation Next point, in water molecule oxygen atom has two lone pair LONE lone pair of electrons last point, it shares one of its lone pair of electrons with hydrogen ion to complete its duplet and hence hydrogen ion is formed. Yesterday, have you written the definition of lone pair?
Ma'am, could you repeat once again?
Yes, beta.
Could you repeat once again?
Yes, I will repeat. कल हम लोगों ने लोन पेयर का डेफिनेशन लिखा था.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
तो अभी मैं ये आंसर रिपीट कर रही हूँ, आप लोग प्लीज क्रॉस चेक करो. I'll go slow. First point, hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen ion. Hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen ion. Next point, when
Ma'am, I'm asking to repeat the lone pair definition.
huh?
I am asking to repeat the lone pair definition.
अच्छा लोन पेयर, मुझे लगा ये आंसर. Okay, I'll repeat the lone pair definition. Those who have not written yesterday, please write, and those who have written, please cross check. Lone pair, हाँ. A pair of electrons, a pair of electrons, which does not take part, which does not take part in bond formation, in bond formation is called as lone pair, is called as lone pair of electrons, called as lone pair of electrons. Okay, I will repeat. A pair of electrons which does not take part in bond formation is called lone pair of electrons. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll come to the next part. Strength of an acid. We have seen the classification of acids. Now one by one we will study. You all take a screenshot of this because
Yes, ma'am.
in exam you have to draw this structure also. We have to explain how in water molecule hydrogen ion is added and how this hydronium ion is formed and how the coordinate bond or a dated bond is formed. All that you have to draw and show. So you take a screenshot of this.
Taken, ma'am.
Okay. Now, classification of acids, हम लोग going to study that in detail. So, the acids they are classified on the basis of the first one is strength of an acid. Okay, we have already written the full chart. Its strength of an acid. Now see, the strength of an acid or the power of an acid, it totally depends upon number of hydronium ions. Okay, when we take aqueous solution of acid, aqueous solution of acid, aqueous solution of acid means acid dissolved in water. So when we will take acid, dissolve it in water, that time how much amount of hydronium ions are formed by that acid? Okay, how much amount of hydronium ions are formed by that acid? Some acids will form 10 molecules, some will form 100 molecules, some will form 20 molecules. Okay, so depending on that, we classify the acid as the strong acid. So strength of the acid means on dissolving in water, how many hydronium ions are formed by that acid? That is called as the strength of an acid. Okay, more the concept, more the amount of hydronium ions, stronger will be the acid. Less the amount of hydronium ions, the acid will be weak. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so give the heading.
Ma'am, what is that AQ solution?
Acids, acids,
Ma'am, what is that AQ?
yes,
Ma'am, what is that AQ in behind of solution?
AQ means aqueous solution. AQ means लिखा है ना? Aqueous solution. Okay, aqueous solution मतलब any solution that contains water. Okay, जब हम लोग एसिड को वाटर में डिसॉल्व करते हैं वो हो जाता है aqueous solution of water. Aqueous को according to the rules of chemistry हम लोग aqueous को लिखते हैं AQ and then we put up a dot. Okay, so AQ का मीनिंग है aqueous मतलब dissolved in water. is dissolved in water, that is acid का aqueous solution मतलब acid plus water. Okay? अच्छा
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ ठीक है, तो अभी आप लोग हेडिंग को acids are classified on the basis of following. On the basis of following. So first write down strength of an acid. Strength of an acid. In that write down the number of hydronium ion, the number of hydronium ion present in aqueous solution, of the acid, present in aqueous solution of the acid is known as strength of the acid, is known as strength of the acid. The greater the concentration of hydronium ion, the greater the concentration of hydronium ion, comma, stronger is the acid. Stronger is the acid. So it's an important definition. So I'm going to repeat it once again. आप लोग एक बार क्रॉस चेक करो. The number of hydronium ion present in aqueous solution of the acid is known as strength of the acid. The greater the concentration of hydronium ion, stronger is the acid. The greater the concentration of hydronium ion, stronger is the acid. Okay, now we come to the next part. Before we stop, we will revise. Okay, we have started with the third chapter, study of acids, bases, and salts. We have started with this third chapter, study of acids, bases, and salts. First, we are going to study about acids. Okay, so acids, they are classified into three categories. Depending on the criteria of classification is on three categories. First is the strength of the acid. Second is the basicity. Third is the concentration of the acid. Okay. Now, strength of the acid, it is again of two types: strong acid, weak acid. Basicity of the acid, monobasic, tribasic, dibasic. Okay. Basicity means how many hydrogen ions are present in that acid. Strength matlab, now only we have seen what is strength of the acid, how much amount of hydronium ions that acid will form in its aqueous solution. Aqueous solution is represented by AQ, means any substance when it is dissolved in water, वो solution को बोलते हैं aqueous solution. तो जब हम लोग acid को water में dissolve करते हैं, that becomes aqueous solution of acid. Okay. और ये जो एक्वियस सॉल्यूशन ऑफ एसिड है, इसमें कितना अमाउंट ऑफ हाइड्रोनियम आयन प्रेजेंट है? इन दिस एक्वियस सॉल्यूशन, हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ हाइड्रोनियम आयन इज प्रेजेंट, that decides the strength of the acid. If the amount of hydronium ions is more, the acid is called as a stronger acid, and if the amount of hydronium ion is less, then that acid is called as a weak acid. ठीक है? Then we have seen concentration of acid, concentrated acid or dilute acid. These are the two types. Concentrated acid is pure acid. It does not have any water in it. Okay? And it is very harmful, it is very corrosive. Corrosive का मतलब है अगर ये strong acid, if it falls in your skin, definitely it is going to remove your skin. The flesh is completely removed. It is going to burn your skin. Okay? And dilute acid means the acid that contains water plus acid. That is called as a dilute acid. Then we have seen definition of acid. Okay? So what is acid? Acid is a chemical compound. When dissolved in water, it will form two types of ions, hydrogen ion and hydronium ion. Okay, so acid क्या है? Acid एक chemical compound है. जब हम acid को water में dissolve करते हैं, either it will form H plus ions or it will form H3O plus ions. ठीक है? And all the acids they contain this positively charged ion, either H plus or H3O plus. And compulsory all acids they have hydrogen ion. HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, all these they contain hydrogen ion. So hydrogen ion जो है compulsory सब acids में होगा. Okay? And then we have seen hydronium ion. We have seen the structure of hydronium ion. Hydronium ion is hydrated hydrogen ion. Hydrated hydrogen ion का मतलब है hydrogen ion when dissolved in water, it is going to form hydronium ion. Okay? Oxygen के पास जो lone pair of electron है, that electron it is going to share with hydrogen ion and it is going to form coordinate bond or dative bond. Okay? So hydronium ion contains coordinate bond or dative bond. Okay? Any doubt?
No doubt, ma'am.